I'm finally back in my hometown, the most beautiful city in America, where monuments to history are everywhere you look. Like the nondescript office building where I had my first unpaid internship. It's a city where sports legends are born, and I'm welcomed home with open arms, heralded as the niche sports celebrity that I am.
You didn't recognize me, but we got his picture before Vegas.
It's hard not to get emotional when I come back to this arena. Man, it's good to be home.
Get off the front, you chowderhead!
Welcome to Oddball. I'm Charlotte Wilder, obviously back in Boston, here with Amin Elhassan.
Is that what you were doing yesterday?
Yeah, that's what you missed out on when I was like, "Oh, meet at Tea Garden at 4:30," and you were like, "No." Yeah, just a trip down memory lane. Amin. Also, quick note: if you're listening to this but not watching it, you definitely should be watching it on the DraftKings Network or YouTube. Especially today, we've got a lot of visual gags for you.
That video is case in point. You listening to it does not do it justice. You have to see that nasty puddle with the cigarette butts in it.
Yeah, that was a great bit of scouting by me and producer Antonio. We've got a great show for you guys today. Amin, we went to Celtics Knicks last night.
We sure did.
As evidenced by my fangirling with Luke Cornett. It was an interesting game because it didn't mean anything for the Celtics.
Mm-hmm.
They have the 1 seed locked up, as everybody knows. But the Knicks needed this win because if they win their next 2 games and the Bucks lose their next 2 games, which is is that math?
Yeah,
do we have the playoff math still up there?
3 NYKWs plus 2 Bucks L's equals K.
Knicks second in the East. 90 over 100 was my idea of being like not 100 over 100, but like they're second. Right now they're third. Brunson is playing out of his mind.
Yeah. Look, he's controlling the game with very little physical gifts. It's pretty remarkable watching him play. You see, this is mind over matter at the highest level. And I think that's my favorite kind of players in the league are these guys that you have no business doing these things, but you're just so skilled and so smart. You can do this. And they did it against one of the best defenses in the league.
Yeah.
And he was phenomenal. The Knicks were dominant up until like the end, where all of a sudden the Celtics make this huge run and make the score look a lot closer than what it was for most of the night. Yeah,
it was like 30. They were down by 30. Then they went on like a 19-0 run. And Brunson had 39 points in 3 quarters but Tibbs did make sure to leave at least 2 starters out there till the very end. Isaiah Hartenstein and Dante DiVincenzo were just putting in the work. But I think, the person who had the best scout of Jalen Brunson was your boy, Larry David.
Oh.
Yeah. Can we run that?
Yeah.
He's tremendous. He doesn't seem athletic in a way, and yet he gets...
Here it goes.
He stands up. He's standing up right now.
Slithers in.
Trying to demonstrate.
And then he does that thing. Back is going
he's
backwards.
Demonstrating
He jumps
that thing.
What's that?
Yeah, he does it.
What
It's
highly
all good.
technical
Absolutely.
term is
Highly technical term is often referred to as a fadeaway jumper.
Yes, that thing.
That thing. Love that Larry was just like, whatever, because I do have a theory that like everybody who works in sports tries to come up with more complicated names for things.
Oh, yeah.
That like to make it sound like it's really hard and like you wouldn't be able to understand it. So kudos to Larry for being like, whatever that thing is.
A different Larry, Larry Brown, used to say that all the time. He's like, there's only like, I think he says there's only 4 things you can do 4 actions you can run on a basketball court. It's a post up, a pick and roll, a handoff, or an isolation. And it's like, and everything is just that.
Right.
But like people come up with complicated fist twist, 45, like just terms that overly.
Yeah, it's like they just, like in football when they're like, oh, triple coverage, it means like he was guarded by like 3 other guys, whatever. Anyway.
Well, the word coverage is doing a lot of like, oh, I'm a very serious word.
Yeah.
Triple coverage.
I like you, Larry David.
We went to the press conference afterwards where Tibbs was out here dealing jokes,
dude,
laughing.
I have never seen Tibbs like that.
Like charming Tibbs?
Charming, but in like a basketball press conference context. Because at one point, one of the writers was like, you know, you have coached a lot of great people, you know, Derrick Rose, Paul Pierce, Tracy McGrady, and Tibbs goes, David Robinson, Kevin Garnett, and was like smiling as he added these other great players that he's coached, and everybody was just laughing.
Charlotte, the funniest thing is compare and contrast with the last time I went to a press conference and he got fouled.
He's getting fouled. He's getting fouled. He's getting fouled.
I went
Oddball remix.
Yes, I went to the polar opposites from complete meltdown to Mr. Charming.
It was unbelievable. Speaking of charming, we need to charm some people.
Okay.
It's a Friday. You know what that means. We got to send you into your weekend feeling good. And we've got to send some people in the NBA into their very important weekend, last games of the regular season, feeling as good as possible. So, I mean, you have to hype up. You have to hype up dining establishments in Milwaukee.
Okay.
Because Doc Rivers, they've been reeling without Giannis.
Yes.
The Bucks, I mean, we all know the Bucks. The Bucks have been having a real roller coaster of a season. And Doc, there was a game where, what was it? No free throws?
There were, I think, 2 fouls called or something ridiculous.
Yeah.
But the game ended in less than 2 hours. Which is unheard of.
And Doc said, do we have that sound?
Yeah, I think we do.
Adam Silver is the happiest. 157 game time. My goodness. You can go to a game and still have dinner. Unbelievable.
So you can go to the game and still have dinner.
Yeah.
So you have to hype up the people who would be serving dinner.
Okay. My camera right here. All right. Punch Bowl Social and all the other McGillicuddy's, all the other restaurants and bars in Milwaukee. You hear the good news. The NBA doesn't call fouls anymore, which means people can now go to dinner and get drinks at a reasonable hour after they go to the game, which means you guys are going to have to handle this rush. Hey, if you're a server, guess what? Tip City, baby. More business means more tips. If you're a business owner, guess what? Record revenues. This is like Black Friday, right? You're going to go, they call it Black Friday because on that day, they go from the red to the black. Just on one day a year. So if I'm you guys, not only am I getting ready to just count thousands and thousands of dollars in tips and revenues, but also I might, you know what I might do?
What?
Give a little comp action to the NBA people because they're responsible for this. Now, I know you're saying, I mean, I don't know any NBA people. I do. So when I come in, just comp me and I will bring them with me. Milwaukee, I love you.
Okay, this turned into you trying to get free meals.
Or drinks.
Or drinks. Obviously, you know all the names of the places and we should do like Amin's guide to like the
Milwaukee?
Instead of Zagat or Zagat or whatever they call it, like just any place there's an NBA team.
Yes, I'd love that. I'd love to do that. I'd love to show you people the ins and outs of all of these wonderful NBA locales, even the ones I don't like Boston.
Okay, well, relax.
Love
DraftKings.
DraftKings.
You love it here.
Amin,
we've been going around the city and Amin's like, oh, that's where this happened. That's where this happened. I'm like, I think you like it here.
I didn't even complain about the weather one time this whole week.
No, not once. Yeah. He's happy.
The weather was terrible.
Okay, do I get?
Yeah, okay, all right. I need you, Charlotte, to hype up the Memphis Grizzlies, but specifically this Memphis Grizzly, whose name escapes not only me, but also the people who do the graphics for the Cavs broadcast.
Wait, that aired? That's real?
That's real. That happened on air. That is a screen grab of an actual broadcast. Charlotte, hype up that guy.
Question Marcus. You may not be known by name, but you are known by your face to the people in your life who know you, who love you, who went to middle school with you, who hate you, who used to work with you at some random summer job when you were, what's the legal age that you can have a summer job? 16?
I think
whatever. You probably didn't have a summer job because you were in those high-level camps the whole time. I also may not know your name, but everybody who matters in your life, everybody who ever doubted you, they're looking at that picture and they're saying, wow, he did it. And there is nothing, you can't put a price on knowing that people are seeing you succeed, even though your team's not really succeeding. Oh my God.
You know what's funny, Charlotte?
What?
I just thought about, you said like people who doubted you, people at the summer job. And I just imagine some guy sitting down, turn on TV, games on, and like, oh, that's dude.
Oh, Marcus.
No, they're like, that dude, remember from summer?
Oh, and they don't know his name either?
Nobody knows.
Okay, well, basically, buddy, you're in the NBA, so that's awesome. That is so great. Also, the question marks were probably just a placeholder.
Yeah.
Like, they probably knew your name. Of course they know who you are. We know who you are.
We're giving you a hard time.
I'm just messing with you, man.
Yeah.
I would say your name, but I'm going to keep the bit going.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep the bit going. Hey, have a wonderful weekend and then go on a vacation because you'll have some free time.
Yeah. And no one will bother you.
That felt mean. No one will bother you because they don't know. Yeah. They don't know. I feel bad now. That was an opposite. Hype me up.
I must say this. Like, every time we go to a game and we're sitting there and the players are warming up, all these kids are screaming like, Porzingis! 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 Like, and I'm like, it must be so annoying.
You've talked about this on the show before.
Yeah. And these guys, God bless them.
That's when I drooled on myself in the middle of that rant once. Remember that?
Yes.
You were talking about this and I just drooled out of nowhere.
All right, what's next?
Okay. You have to hype up. Oh, this is great. There's a big game this weekend. Mm-hmm. It is Spurs Pistons, two of the worst teams. And this is a must lose for San Antonio because they are in danger of falling out of the top 3 draft odds.
Right.
If they beat the Pistons.
Yes.
So, and we know all of this thanks to this beautiful website called tankathon.com.
Yes.
Which is, as it will come as no surprise to you, keeping track of teams that are tanking for better draft picks. Hype up tankathon.com.
Okay, this is great. All right. Tankathon.com. First of all, you are one of my favorite websites. The reason is everything on tankathon.com, as you can see on the screen, is from the frame of mind of like, we're trying to be as bad as possible. So teams with long losing streaks, instead of being highlighted in red because that's negative, it's in green. Like, good job, right?
Lose 6 in a row, green.
Same thing with their records and everything like that. Tankathon, this is your time to shine. From like right here, this last week, where we're trying to figure out who's the worst and who's going to get the best odds, all the way really up to the draft lottery, because then you can do draft lottery simulations on Tankathon as well.
Oh, really?
Yep. You can hit that sim button and see, oh, look, the Warriors won the number 1 overall pick because they missed the playoffs.
Oh my God.
Right? So it is an amazing website. They also have like the prospects on there. They have the big board. They have mock draft. It's really a comprehensive website. It has a lot of tools, but Tankathon, even though I love all the tools, including the strength of schedule, remaining games for all the teams, all that stuff, let's be real. Your bread and butter, your steak and potatoes, it's the tanking part. All that other stuff, draft picks, I don't care. I like to know who's doing the best at being the worst. And you guys are the best at letting us know who the best at being the worst is. Tankathon, this one's for you. This is Miller Lite or whatever. Sponsors our show.
That's a water. That was an amazing hype me up. I also love that this is also for you fans out there who are sad because we're here talking about what teams are going to be great and how far they're going to go in the playoffs and all this exciting stuff. And you're sitting at home being like, well, the Wizards are a team that exists. And so now you have something to look forward to. You can track this. You can go to that website. Sounds like we're doing an infomercial for them. Call Tankathon, 1-800-TANKATHON.
Downhorrendous.com.
Downhorrendous.
But it really is a big game because if you're the Spurs and you win this game and Charlotte's probably going, the Hornets are probably going to lose, then you drop in odds from like 14% down to like 10, 11%, something like that. So they really need to lose. Yeah. I've got one word of advice for them.
Keep playing how they've been playing?
Exactly. Like someone said, oh, they should like not pass Wembanyama the ball. I'm like, that's what they do anyway.
Don't change a thing.
Just ignore them. Yeah, just keep playing the way.
The tall guy in the corner, absolutely do not give him the ball.
Bastards. All right, you ready for the next one?
I sure am.
Charlotte, you have to hype up Joe Mazzulla.
Oh, no.
So
what did he do
the
now?
Celtics are on a 2-game losing
sweet,
streak.
sweet weirdo.
Right? They lost to the Bucks earlier this week, as we said, and then they lost last night to the Knicks. Here's what Joe Mazzulla had to say in his post-game presser.
Okay.
I thought our guys have handled that as best as they could, and you ran into our last 2 games against 2 teams that are highly, highly desperate. I actually don't mind the result of the last 2 games because I think that's important. Like, going in with a bunch of wins and feeling good about yourself isn't any better than having a little bit of a bloody lip.
So, Charlotte, you gotta hype up Joe and his bloody lip.
Okay. I'm not totally sure what you mean, Joe. I'm like trying to do, it's like a logic puzzle. He left out a lot of qualifier, like going into what? So I think he means going into the playoffs.
Yes.
Because they have the number 1 seed. It is okay to go in having lost your last 2 games because then you have a bloody lip. You remember what it feels like to be hungry, to want it, even though I'm not totally sure that's how it works because you have the 1 seed already. Joe, what I respect most about that is that you managed to say that the Celtics lost to 2 highly desperate teams. Yeah. That is gamemanship, my friend. That is beauty. That is, the Knicks are going to hear that. The Bucks are going to hear that. Highly desperate.
Is that
and it's
pejorative?
Well, so I think that it is the absolute most brilliant brain flip you can do because highly desperate, it means, yeah, they're good and they're trying to be better, but the teams will hear that and be like, wait, we're not desperate. And then they'll be like, wait, no, we are desperate. And that's a good thing. But he said it as though it's a bad thing. It's just like he's doing, you know how he does jujitsu?
Yeah.
He had that coffee that said, coffee god jujitsu that he had made specially.
Sure. Yeah.
Joe, you are doing an unbelievable job. Your team is doing historic things. They have the best offense in the history of the NBA. And I just think you got to keep doing what you're doing and keep being the sweet weirdo that we've come to know and love because clearly it's working. Like go out there and test the shots.
Do somersaults.
Say some weird stuff. Like maybe even put some fake blood on your lip because I could see that being something you might do because you were that committed to the bit. And I respected Joe Mazzulla. Celtics in 6.
There you go. Charlotte, you know what's funny? Like I feel like DraftKings is a major partner with the Celtics. We've got to get this Joe Mazzulla exclusive.
Joe.
I've seen it. I've seen the building. I've seen everything here. I'm bought in. I'm bought in on this whole Boston experience. I need Joe Mazzulla to come on the show.
Joe, please come on this show. I really think you'd have a great time. We really are big fans. Like, we're not even making fun of you. Also, look how weird we are. I'm saying you're weird. We're way weirder. You'll have a blast, buddy.
There's no show in America that is more prepared to
meet you on your level.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, coming up, odds and ends.
Ooh,
we're going to look at some fun stuff from the week that we didn't get to.
All right, let's do it.
Stick around.
So obnoxious.
I love it. The Boston music surprises me every time. I'm like, this isn't our theme song, but now it is. All right, we got to finish up the week with odds and ends, which are some fun, silly stories we didn't get to this week.
Yeah.
And we're starting with my absolute favorite thing that happened this week. I actually cannot believe we have not talked about it yet. It is the Torrey Craig, Andre Drummond, what I'm calling the joint dunk. Some people have said that Andre Drummond fouled Torrey Craig, but I am saying that they dunked it together. Can you explain what happened to me?
Yes. So, first of all, they didn't dunk it together because the ball didn't go in.
I know, but
because
okay,
Andre Drummond
the joint attempted dunk
mauled him. And look at the picture. The picture's just a picture worth 1,000 words. This one's worth 1,000,000.
It's incredible
because just the facial expression of Torrey Craig as he realizes something has gone awfully wrong. What happened was is a fast break. They got a steal, clear court. So Torrey Craig is like, oh, cool. I'll throw this off the backboard, catch it, and dunk it. because when you're the 9th or 10th team in the conference, you get a little opportunity to sizzle. You sizzle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Andre Drummond was right behind him, and I guess Andre Drummond thought like, "Oh, that's nice of him. He's throwing off the backboard for me."
Mm-hmm.
And so Craig throws it off the backboard. He goes up to dunk it. Andre Drummond goes up to dunk it, and he basically ends up mauling him, and we get this picture with these facial expressions.
It's like hard foul on his own teammate, and you can just see the fear in both of their eyes as this starts to happen from the perspective of the backboard. It's a beautiful thing. I also read an article from Chicago media, I forget who wrote it, who was like, this is emblematic of the Bulls season. Torrey Craig was showboating when they just needed to get back to work. And I was like, I feel like the main story is like
they're not good.
Yeah.
I'm like,
although that just like that happened is unbelievable.
If he had laid it up and passed it to the ref, like that's not changing the story of your season.
Right.
This isn't a team that's undisciplined, and that's why.
Yeah, like Torrey Craig, have a little fun. Who cares? All right. Next up, we have something that our producers are saying is Chet arm.
Yes. The Chet arm. Again, we have not seen this picture. Oh, what the hell?
Oh my God.
Hold on.
Wait.
That can't be right. That's not.
Oh my God. So there's a group picture of the Thunder, and Chet is on the edge, and it looks like one of the guy's arms on the other side blends into his. It looks like he's Stretch Armstrong.
Yes, he looks like Mr. Fantastic.
Oh, it's incredible.
Yeah, no, that's wild, because it took me a second to realize that's not photoshopped. It's just literally the perfect blend of where his arm goes, and then is that Josh Giddey's arms are in there. That's incredible.
I really love that.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So here's a Photoshop that our beautiful team made for us. Is that Chet with
the arena? He's got his arm around the entire arena. All right, what else?
Okay, guys, cool. Oh, that's a good one.
Mount Rushmore.
He has his arm around Mount Rushmore.
His boys.
He's long enough that you sort of believe it, too.
Yeah. All right, what's next? So the state of Oklahoma has this really weird panhandle on the west side of it.
Yeah.
So they've got Chet on the eastern border wrapping his arm around the entire.
This is amazing work, everybody. Thank you. So is that all, or do we have more Photoshops?
No, I think that's it. They're doing the thing for the guy,
Chet's arm around the Grizzlies chyron that has question marks of the guy whose name we definitely know and are choosing not to say. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
See, this is production, folks. We're gonna end the show with something that I was a part of.
Yeah.
With our friend Pablo Torre on Pablo Torre Finds Out, who has started a petition to get Red Panda into the Naismith Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I talked to the people at the Hall of Fame. It is possible she could be entered as a contributor. So there's a change.org petition. You can find it. It has
Where?
On change.org. Google it. I don't know. Go to Pablo's social media. It currently has 2,000 signatures, but the goal is 2,500 to spotlight this important cause.
The irony of this is that actual real red pandas are an endangered species, and they're facing extinction.
They need signatures too.
I feel like that would be a much more worthwhile petition.
Pick your panda, as they say here in Boston. Thank you for hanging out with us for these shows in Boston. It's been so fun.
We're going to do this again. We have to do this again.
We're coming back. The Celtics, do not screw this up for me.
Jeez.
Make it to the finals so we can keep coming back here.
It's funny because you talk to so many Celtics fans and they were just so
everyone's
cocky.
like, yeah, we got this. And the Celtics, you do got this. Joey Maz. I am being told there is a Photoshop we need to roll here. I don't know what it is.
Oh, there it is.
Wow, look at that.
God,
The Amin guy. That looks nice.
Yeah.
You guys work quickly.
I want to eat there.
Yeah, me too. I want to read Amin's guide.
They've got the font right and everything. It looks just like I don't know how to pronounce it either. Is it Zagat or Zagat?
Zagat.
Zagat?
Zagat? I don't know.
Zagat.
Bob Zagat?
You know what they say?
What?
When you zig, you got to zag it. Yeah.
Happy birthday.
What was that?